Hi, everyone. I'm Cheryl Butler, and you're listening to the Mighty Mommies Quick and Dirty Tips podcast, which will help make your life as a parent a little bit easier and a lot more fun. Welcome. This is episode number 301 called How to Host a Healthy Halloween Party. And today I have a very special guest, our clever cookster, Kara Rhoda. Did I pronounce your name right, Kara?
You did. Thank you so much for having me.
Great. Well, you know what? This is such a fun time of year because we're getting ready to launch in on the holidays, and it all starts with Halloween. And to be honest with you, Halloween in our house is just right up there with Christmas. There's so much happening. There's hay rides, haunted hay rides. There's corn mazes to go through, costumes, tons of little crafts to do. But the be-all and end-all of Halloween really is the treats. So today, I was hoping we could talk a little bit about that because I've been getting a lot of emails that from our Mighty Mommy listeners that are looking for different kinds of ideas that they can throw in the mix to the usual Halloween, which is, candy corn, just lots of chocolate and gooey and all that kind of sugary stuff. People are paying more attention to making things a little bit healthier, but we don't want to take away the fun and we don't want to take away the good taste. So that's why we were hoping we could get some fresh new ideas from you. So maybe we can start with that. Could you give us some ghoulishy good recipes that kids are going to like? They're not going to say, oh, that's healthy. I don't want that. Can you tip us off on some fun things that we can get started with so we can get this Halloween started off right?
Absolutely. Well, first, I will tell you that when I was little, I was actually allergic to chocolate, which was the worst possible thing in the world on Halloween. So I had the horrible experience of having to come home from trick-or-treating and pour out my loot and have to trade away all the good stuff to all of my friends, and got stuck with, the Jolly Ranchers and things that nobody likes. So as an adult, I have no interest in candy other than chocolate. I want chocolate all the time. But there are lots of great things that we can make for Halloween for parties that are great for kids, great for adults, really fun, kind of bring in some of the flavors of the season, but are not straight processed sugar. I think it's also really good to have a balance, even if your kids are inevitably going to be having a little bit more than usual around Halloween. It's good to start with, maybe some vegetables, maybe some protein, a little bit of a layer for the candy to sit on top of.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the first recipe I want to talk about is pumpkin hummus. I know there's just sort of this focus on pumpkin everything this season, but I love making hummus because it's really easy. If you have a food processor or a good blender, all you need are some garbanzo beans. I generally use ones that are from the can and drained, but you can also cook them from dried beans. You'll want to rinse them out and stick them in the food processor or blender with a few tablespoons of olive oil, a few tablespoons of tahini, maybe about a half a cup to a cup of plain pumpkin puree, and obviously you want to make sure that you're getting the 100% pumpkin, not the pumpkin pie filling, which has a lot of sugar in it and will probably be not quite as delicious in this particular recipe. You might want to try adding some roasted garlic to this for a really toasty finish, or some fresh rosemary or sage. You'll add a little salt and pepper to taste, and then sprinkle some toasted pumpkin seeds on top, and you'll have a really nice little seasonal flavorful dip.
Oh, wow. You know what? That is almost way too easy. And
it's so easy.
It's so doable. And that's like perfect to start the night out before you go trick-or-treating. It's great because a lot of times you go with other families, and so the adults like to have something for themselves. And my kids would love that.
Absolutely. And you just kind of taste it as you go. Kids can help make it. Serve it with some carrot sticks. It's very color coordinated.
Yeah. That's important.
Then the second recipe that I want to suggest is also pumpkin based. It's a pumpkin ravioli. So making pasta at home is really great, really fun, I'm sure, for the people who do it a lot of the time, which is usually not me. As a shortcut, you can actually use store-bought wonton wrappers as the ravioli. It's a really great trick. You can fill them with lots of different things, but for this recipe, we're going to fill them with pumpkin. So you'll mix together about a half a cup of that canned pumpkin again, a couple tablespoons of grated Parmesan, 1 beaten egg yolk, a tablespoon of breadcrumbs, and just a little pinch each of salt and pepper and a little nutmeg. So you want to lay out your wonton wrappers. You should have enough filling for about 16 of them.
Okay.
On some parchment paper, and just put a teaspoon of filling on each wonton. You kind of have to, ignore the impulse to overstuff them because then they'll fall apart. So just a little bit.
Okay.
And then you take a little beaten egg white to seal the wontons around the edges so that you have a little packet. And then you're going to just cook them in some simmering water until they float. You want to make sure you're not going to crowd the pot. So you might need to do them in 2 batches. It should take them about 4 minutes to cook, and then you can drain them, mix in a little melted butter, sage, more nutmeg or olive oil, whatever you want, and then a little black pepper to taste. And that's a really nice dinner, actually. Kids before trick-or-treating, for parents to eat while they're waiting for the kids to come home. It's pretty substantial and a delicious way to use pumpkin.
Oh my gosh, that is great. You think of pumpkin, and I think a lot of times people think, just think of canned pumpkin, or then you see the pumpkins when you go pumpkin to the pumpkin patch, and everybody thinks about, carving them, or the pumpkin seeds are so delicious when you roast them in the oven. But these are things that they're not intimidating. So thank you for that.
Absolutely. It's so easy. And don't feel bad about using canned pumpkin. Actually, the pumpkins that you get in the pumpkin patch are not really built for flavor. They're mostly built to be sort of big and beautiful and sturdy and carve really well. So the pumpkins that are going into the canned pumpkin puree are actually better for eating. Most chefs will tell you it's okay to use canned pumpkin. It's actually going to be better. So have no guilt about that.
Good. I absolutely do not have guilt, because if I'm getting 8 kids ready to go trick-or-treating, I have to have shortcuts somewhere. So thank you. I will definitely take you up on that. These are great. So what else? Gosh, I could pick your brain all day here, because I think we're going to be having one of our best Halloweens yet so far.
Sure. So there's a Nigella Lawson recipe that I really like that's called slime soup. And it's sort of a pureed green soup with some peas, with some chicken broth that's reminiscent of slime. It's kind of like a more delicious version of the game you would play as a kid with the spaghetti as brains and the peeled grapes as eyeballs. And kids might get a kick out of that. It's a nice way to get some vegetables in them before they go out trick-or-treating. And if you are thinking about making something a little bit more on the sweet side for a Halloween party, meringue is a really great way to make adorable little ghosts that are just really cute, kind of light, really spooky and nice for the holiday.
Oh, gosh, those sound great. Now, do you have, we can refer to the Clever Cookster page to get those recipes or those ideas for the rainbows?
We'll put some links to those recipes up on the QDT article for Mighty Mommy, and you can also find them on Cookster.com.
Oh, great. Okay, so that's good. So the Mighty Mommy listeners that are listening to this today, you'll be able to refer to the QDT site and just click on the Mighty Mommy page for this episode, which is 301, and we'll have the links for you there. For this and for the other 2 recipes that Clever Cookster was just telling us about. So what about anything for drinking, as far as like warm fall type drinks for this time of year? Anything you could recommend for that?
Absolutely. Well, there's certainly the standards. There's hot chocolate. There's mulled cider. I kind of like anything with whipped cream on top of it, but for grown-ups, especially for Halloween, when you're keeping warm, watching the trick-or-treaters, or after they've gone to bed, you could infuse some brandy or bourbon with apples and spiced simple syrup for a really special treat. And simple syrup is really easy. It's sugar and water, and if you put some spices in there and have the infused bourbon, that's really pretty delicious.
Oh my gosh! I haven't had dinner yet, so listening to all this, I just can't wait to get into the kitchen and make something. And I'm hoping I have something similar to these recipes, because I'm drooling here. Now, I have a question for you. I'm the mom of 8 kids, and some of them are in college, but I still have trick-or-treaters left in the house. And we come home after going out trick-or-treating, and I look at the amount of candy that comes in, and as somebody that myself, I worked in a dental office for 20 years, I kind of have to say it's just makes my teeth ache to see all this candy, although I like my sweet stuff just as much as the next guy. But with all that candy, I mean, once my kids get to kind of poke through and get what they want, and we try to ration it out so it's not all gone in 2 nights, but we still have so many things that are left, and not, I don't want to throw it out. We donate stuff, we give it away, but there's still a lot left. So what do you think? Are there some ideas that we can incorporate into just, everyday stuff, or even going into the holidays with that leftover candy?
Oh, for sure. So my boyfriend makes fun of me because I can make really good chocolate chip cookies, really perfect, just how he likes them, but I choose not to. I like to experiment when I cook, and I like to put all kinds of different things in my chocolate chip cookies. So I can tell you that there are a lot of candy bars that do very well if you just chop them up. Take your favorite chocolate chip cookie recipe and replace the chocolate chips with some chopped Snickers, Reese's Pieces. Candy corn is actually really good in cookies with white chocolate. So, you kind of make it a little bit of a project, get the kids together, get them on a little baking assembly line, and then, they have these leftover candy cookies that they can take to school, share with friends, give away.
That's
maybe
great.
Not eat all of them. And, you won't feel like you're being wasteful, but you've kind of, made it a fun project too.
Yeah, we've indulged a little bit and embarked on a little creativity as well. Well, listen, Kara, these ideas are fantastic. And I know the Mighty Mommy listeners are going to be, able to incorporate some of them and try some new things for this year's Halloween festivities. And I am so excited that you could join us today. So thank you for coming.
Thank you so much for having me. This is so much fun.
And so for everybody listening, this was Kara Rhoda. She's one of my colleagues at Macmillan Publishers Quick and Dirty Tips, and you can check her out on the Clever Cookster channel when you go log into Quick and Dirty Tips. And she's got lots of great ideas, not just for Halloween, but any other time of the year as well. So thank you so much, Kara. And I wish all of you out there a very happy, frightfully, ghoulishly, and sweet but healthy Halloween.
What are some fun and healthy ways you and your family celebrate Halloween? Share your thoughts in the comment section at quickanddirtytips.com/mighty-mommy. Or you can post your ideas on the Mighty Mommy Facebook page, or email me at mommy@quickanddirtytips.com. Also, don't forget to visit my family-friendly boards at pinterest.com/mightymommyqdt. Wishing all of you a very, very happy and healthy Halloween.